Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Stanek here. In today's video we dive into Bitcoin analysis. Like always, remember, nothing in here is a financial advice. Everything you hear in this video is just my personal opinion. So like you see, we are on the 4-hourly chart on Bitcoin, and in previous video we spoke about this big Ryzen wedge formation, right? I was explaining it to you that the Ryzen wedge pattern is forming basically when you got a Ryzen channel, okay, when you going up, and then in some point you losing volume and momentum, and you're not able to basically push to a higher levels, right? Like you see in here, we got this high, and this double top in here was basically the confirmation at this stage we're not able to go higher and higher. So this bearish pattern Ryzen wedge is basically a result of an upper channel without a volume. So in previous video, when I was recording, we basically held the support of this trend line, very important trend line. From this perspective, we got support so many times thanks to this trend line. So like you see, we lost the support of this trend line, right? So from technical point of view, always when you lose the support of this trend line in this bearish pattern Ryzen wedge, you in your technical target. In this case, the technical target will be in here in the very bottom, right? In this swing low where you created the pattern. So that would be around $18,250, sorry. But then again, of course, we need some time to go there. It's not really, you know, something written in the stone. You need to go there straight away. I think in 2 days time we got the new Cpi report coming up, right? So there are big expectation what can happen. Many people will pay attention to that, and of course you need to expect some volatility, right? Because if the CPI report, if the CPI report, yeah, 13th, if the CPI report is around 8.1% or below, I think that would be a bit of a bullish sign, right? But if it's a higher one, higher number than 8.1, I will expect Fed to be quite aggressive, right? So the reaction of the market can be either way at this stage. So expect volatility definitely in next 2 days time. But at this moment, like you see, when Bitcoin lost this support of this trend line, we held for a second the support of 786 FIB, which retest of this level was quite obvious, I think, especially when we already been in here like a day before. Of course, next level to watch is 1 FIB point, $18,925. Like you see this swing low in here. We already been like super close in here. That's the level of 18,962, which is only $35 short from the expected retest point, right? Of course, when you're still paying attention to this bearish scenario, when we lose 1 FIB level, this are your next target, right? So 172, 1272, 1414 and 1618, right? So 18,500, 18,300 and $18,000 in here. So the expectations are, in the moment you're losing this 1 FIB support, you going lower, right? But please pay attention to this swing low and this swing low. That would be the next level of retest in my opinion. So 18,150, and the next one will be 18,484, which is quite close to our 1272 FIB level, right? From this perspective. So definitely, if you lose the 1 FIB support, if you lose this swing low, you will see the price going lower and lower. there is a one important case in here, and when we set our FIBs from more macro 4-hourly perspective, let me remove this one. You will see that in this correction, basically from those highs, we are holding the golden ratio support, right? So the $19,000 support. The next level from the macro 4-hourly macro perspective, you can say, when you're looking on those highs and this low, will be 786, 18,600, right? So from the micro point of view, the level was 18,500. So definitely I will pay attention to this level, especially when you lose the support of this low in here, right? So the question is now, are we going lower? Well, technically there is still space for us to go lower, right? In next 2 days, like I said, new CPI report, expected volatility, so of course there is a chance we might go lower in this corrective move. But when you're paying attention to RSI and stock RSI, especially 4-hourly, 8-hourly and daily, we quite oversold. So in some point I will definitely expect a bounce in here, right? The 4-hourly is quite low as well, so we are basically preparing ourselves for some kind of bounce. And the question is this corrective move over? If it's over, is a good sign, especially like, you know, you print in a higher low, which is quite bullish from this perspective. And someone will say the bounce is imminent. I will say, well, I will be cautious, right? Especially with the CPI report coming up. But if this low is our bottom of this corrective move, Bitcoin will definitely try to come back up and hit these highs, right? Just, you know, move through them. So the expectations are, if this is the bottom of our correction, you're trying to move back up to get to those highs, right? So the next important level on the way up will be definitely $20,460. But on your way up, you definitely got few important levels, like you see 382, 19,500. That would be an important level, especially when you're looking on the amount of resistance we got. And I will also pay attention, like always, to golden ratio, right? There was also a lot of support and a lot of resistance in those levels in here. But yeah, first of all, we need to see, is this is the bottom of this correction? If yes, I will expect a little bit of a bounce. Of course, this trend line now will act as resistance as well. That was our support point so many times. But now, because we lost the support of this trend line, I will expect this trend line will act as resistance. And if you add the 20 and 50 EMA, you also see that after this bearish cross, we saw the price going lower, right? This is quite important, especially now on the way up. The 20 EMA and the 50 EMA will act as resistance as well. So it's definitely a lot of resistance on the way back, all right? But then when you're looking on our RSI, stock RSI, the way how oversold are we, I will expect us to see a little bit of a bounce, right? So yeah, that will be about it from the Bitcoin perspective. We also double check Dixie. Yeah, let me have a look. Right, so the DXY, we saw these few massive moves in DXY, right? I'm quite happy, like, you know, twice this pattern cup and handle was playing perfectly for us, perfectly. The one time in here with the target 108, the other time in here with the target 112, and now it's looking like there is a higher chance of DXY creating another cap and handle, right? So we slowly get in the cap, and maybe in some point we'll get the handle. But what I want to say about DXY, the last pump in Bitcoin was basically formed because of DXY being in this massive corrective move in here, right? But yeah, we got a retest of this level 110. Like you see in here, that was a resistance few times, and now we held it as support, which is quite bullish for DXY. And the next move up, I will expect, that's my expectations, I will expect DXY to go for range between 117 and 120, right? So I'm expecting another higher high in here, to be honest with you. But then again, everything depends on the CPI report and next Fed move, of course. But like I was trying to say, in last Bitcoin pump we saw DXY going down. Now we see DXY in another pump, right? So I will expect Bitcoin to go lower. And you can see similarities with the traditional markets, right? Dow Jones, again, similar scenario. When Dixie was going down, we saw a bounce in Dow Jones, and now when Dixie is going up, Dow Jones is in a corrective move. Nasdaq same, and you can see, oh, this is quite bad for the S&P 500, right? So I was trying to say you can see the same in S&P, but it's not happening at the moment in the S&P, right? We don't see a tiny bounce. But of course, S&P is moving lower, lower, and lower. And Ryzen Dixie is not really helping in that. I will expect in some point S&P coming back. Let me put it to the daily chart. I'm expecting S&P to going back to those highs from COVID, right? Dow Jones already done it. I think Nasdaq can be next one, but S&P definitely I think is going here, especially with the when you're looking on the shape of the economy and the macro situation. Of course, this scenario will push also Bitcoin lower, right? Because of the correlation between the Bitcoin and the traditional markets. It's hard to say what kind of correlation we see at the moment. I will expect this correlation maybe to be even like 70% between Bitcoin and traditional markets. So I will definitely pay attention to traditional markets. But this stage, expect volatility, stay safe. And like I said, I will expect if the CPI report will not crash the market, I will expect a bounce because we quite oversold, right? I thank you for watching and see you in the next video.